Hello, boys and girls and women and children and mammals alike, and welcome to me talking about music production while I commute. Great seeing you again. Today I will be discussing harmony and more specifically chord progressions. Yay! Woohoo! Best thing ever, right? Oh man, I actually think it is. It's one of the coolest things about music production. And I am sure that a lot of you guys and girls out there who are watching this are just like, meh, what do I need that for? That's just a parenthesis, right? That's not something I need to bother about. Well, you'd be wrong, because that is actually, in my mind, one of the most important parts of producing music. Super important. I mean, if you don't have a good chord progression, actually Lady Gaga once said that if you don't have a good chord progression, your music is gonna suck. Well, basically. So focus on that. It's really important, especially in melodic music, obviously. You know, if you have a sucky chord progression in a melodic track, it doesn't matter how good your production skills are. It's just gonna suck anyway, you know? It's just gonna suck anyway. So, how do you get a good chord progression? And what constitutes a chord progression might be a good start, actually. So let's answer that, okay? A good chord progression is made out of a bunch of tones taken in progressions. So you first take a couple of tones, like a tritone, and then you take another one, and then you take a third one, and then the combination of these is what constitutes the progression. Now, I'm not going to go into detail, because I'm just not like that when I'm driving a car. Rather, I'm going to talk about what's important when thinking about these progressions. So it's basically the chord before the chord you're making and the chord after the chord that you are making are the important chords. And that's really strange to wrap your head around. The chord before you is the one that sets the tone for the chord you're making, and the chord after is the related chord to the one you're doing. So everything needs to fit harmonically with each other. And there are a bunch of ways of getting this, getting information about how to do these kinds of things. Mainly I use a bunch of apps for the iPhone. I don't have them off the top of my head. Just search for chord progression app and you'll find a bunch of them. They're all free. You can pay if you want, but who does that? We talked about stealing earlier on, right? But anyway, that's one of the ways to do it, and the other one is basically to learn music theory. You know, using apps, using support from programs on the net. There's hook theory, obviously, is a good one too to look at, which is on the net. And then learning music theory. Why do you need to learn music theory? That's a huge thing to do, right? But yeah, trust me, it does help a lot. Contrapuntal, counterpoint, knowing about that kind of thing, knowing about some jazz theory, what constitutes a good jazz chord progression. You know, all of these things are available to you. You'll find information on it from the internet. Use it. So I'm just a messenger, right? Yeah, that's it. So cool. Use the internet to your advantage. already, you know, that's cool. It's awesome. Use that information. The easiest way to know to get to grips with how to do a good chord progression is obviously to learn music theory. And how well would you do that? There are a bunch of podcasts that helps you out. There are a bunch of places online which you can pay to get lessons for it. There's a lot of ways to learn. You can learn the piano if you use that kind of thing. I would recommend just learning about the theory and then experimenting, you know, spending a lot of time making music and learning at the same time. For the instrument that you know, if you know any of them. If you don't know any instrument at all, then I would suggest piano or something like the Ableton Push. And we can talk about that in that coming episode as well. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. It's such a hard thing. Chord progressions. I spent so much time trying to get that sorted. That's basically the main time I spend on making music, is trying to sort out these freaking chord progressions and making them fit. Yeah. And that's because I don't have the musical background. I mean, I played some kind of Swiss horn when I was young, and that basically doesn't count. I should have learned the piano when I was young. That would have been good. But mind you, you don't need to learn the piano if you want to know how music theory works or to make good chord progressions. Absolutely not. You can skip that altogether, to be honest. The only thing you really need to do is to spend time and know how chord progressions work. It's the main thing. It's the main driver. And music theory is a good thing for you. It does help you out. I learned music theory through the site, I think it was musictheory.net or something. And there's a great app actually for this, Hook Theory. It's a really good place to go to, and they have a downloadable app. I think it's like $10 or something. Super good to get to grips with chord progressions. And I think they have some content on melody as well. Basically just spend the time to learn. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Spend the hours. Because once you've spent a couple of hours on that, you will it will be easier for you. That's what's needed anyway. You know, spending the time to learn the details on the music theory aspects of things. You can always cheat, right? We've talked about cheating before, and that's a good thing in this case. You can cheat by simply borrowing chord progressions, like we talked about before, from artists that you like. Okay, and that's a perfectly viable way of doing things, and it's pretty much easy, you know. I think a lot of you know, pretty good artists that progresses pretty fast, they do that. Personally though, I'm having issues doing that. It's harder for me because I'm one of those guys that like, okay, I can do this myself. I can sort this out. And I spend a bunch of hours trying to figure out how things sound. And they sound unique after I'm done. At least in my mind. I'm sure someone has already figured out this chord progression that I've spent 5 freaking hours doing. But I don't care because I did it myself, right? Some people are like that, but you don't have to do that. Someone has already made the job for you. Think about that. The important thing is finishing things and making them good and feeling good about it. So for me, feeling good about me making music is figuring out chord progressions and creating a track, which is good. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. And there are so many tools available to you. There's a bunch of lists on hook theory, where you can figure out what the most common chord progressions are. They have this huge database where they've indexed all of the most popular pop tracks, and they show you what the most common chord progressions are. And you can just steal them straight off if you want. And that's a perfectly viable way of doing things. Do you need to learn sheet theory? You know, reading sheet music? No, you don't. A lot of the places online, they don't care about that. They dumb it down so it's a lot easier to read. You know, music theory in general is just, you know, you can dumb it down and still understand how to make music. A lot of the big artists, they don't even know music theory, but I still want to underline that it does help so much knowing music theory. It really helps you out to make you know, really good music combinational, to make good combinations when you're creating music. Yeah. So some tips for you there on this afternoon run I'm doing. Let me know what you think, like always. Let me know if I should talk about elephants or zebras, or if this is good. Feeling good about this? I am, anyway. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys in this car. Driving to and from work makes it a lot more fun. Let me know if you do so too, if you like it. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts and suggestions. How do you figure out music theory? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you make minimal music and don't even give a rat's ass about it, or are you creating orchestral music and rely on it completely? And how do you go about it? Let me know your thoughts. Share this shit, like it, comment on it, and I will see you on the flip side.